Thank you, Madam Chair. Welcome to all the witnesses. Mr. Ritchie, let me say, as a Texan, I'm particularly happy to see you bringing cowboy hats back to the United States Senate. It warms my heart.
Yes, sir.
Let me start with you, Mr. Ritchie. In your testimony, you talk a lot about how music fans and artists have been harmed by systemic problems within the ticketing system. You've been doing this for over 25 years with a ton of success. What do you see as the biggest problem for music fans?
Well, like we're saying, we keep going back to these speculative ticketing. Transparency, all this stuff, great. Everyone does agree on these small things, but it does not solve this problem. The biggest problem I see as an artist is getting the tickets at the prices I set into the hands of the fans. And like I said, I'll say it again, I'm a capitalist, I'm a deregulation guy. There's no way around this but to put a price cap on this or technology figure it out. But technology hasn't yet. Maybe they don't want them to. I mean, when people are making a lot of money in the secondary market, and I even told the CEO of Live Nation a couple years ago, I go, you guys would have probably gotten away with this a lot longer if you just would have paid the artists some of the money in the secondary market, which they never did. We never shared in that. But either way, I'm here for the fans. That's it. I would actually take a pay cut off this. I would rather have more fans and take a little less money or have packed buildings and play to that, because let's face it, as a front man and a lot of front men, we have a little bit of egos, all of us. And rather than take that little bit extra money.
Fortunately, no one in politics has that.
Yeah, not at all. So it's getting the prices we set, getting them in the hands of the fans.
You also talked about how artists have lost leverage in the ticketing system. And obviously, venues make relationships with ticket sellers. Can you explain what it means, how performers have lost leverage, and what might change if artists had more control over ticket sales?
Well, I mean, just with this, speaking of the secondary market, if I went to Ticketmaster, I don't know, a couple months ago, I got a tour coming up. I could go like, hey, we've agreed on a price for the ticket with the building, with the fees, everything. Okay, I want to buy all 15,000 tickets. No way that's happening. You can only get a certain amount for your fan club that you want. Maybe I want to do special things there. Maybe I want to do things like, have first class tickets available like an airline, but then also have some really cheap tickets around there without doing dynamic pricing, which kind of takes one ticket right next to another ticket and for no reason just jacks it up. I'd rather be transparent about this going into it. Like, yes, we know we have first-class customers, people who've worked hard and done well. We want to provide them very expensive tickets, so they're going to be there towards the end. Also want to have very cheap tickets, but I want to lay this out across the board. Just all sorts of unique things we could do with those tickets, whether it's giveaways, fan clubs. Some people have corporate deals they want to do things with, and it's not like they haven't worked with us on that. I'm not saying Ticketmaster doesn't. But just the freedom to say, like, I don't want my ticket resold at all. I'd rather a couple percentage, a few hundred people kind of get screwed over and say, I can't sell my ticket back. I got to eat it. Because I know right now if that happened, that 95, 96% of those people would have a great experience at buying the ticket. And some of these things now, I've heard in the last 6 months, we can do that. We can do that. I'm like, well, why couldn't we do that for all these years? And it seems like I said, people are being reactive instead of proactive.
Let me ask the other witnesses, do you agree with Mr. Ritchie, number one, that as an artist he could not buy, say, all 15,000 tickets? And if you agree that under status quo he can't, why not?
I can answer that, Senator. The reason is because in the United States, the tickets are issued and owned by the venues. The ticket is literally a license to come onto the premises during the show. And so there are venue interests here that are reflected in thousands of contracts. What the venues will defer to Mr. Ritchie or any other artist on are the pricing, resale restrictions, things like that, but they're not going to give up their property rights in the tickets.
We too are rooting for fan success, Senator Cruz. We believe the artist and the artist success and event success, we want to see sold out. We help achieve 100% sold out. But at the end of the day, I agree, the artist, they should set whatever price they want to set. I think Kid Rock, if I may, I think he's absolutely right. He wants to set different tiers of his pricing. He can, and fans should have that option. They should also have the option, if they choose, to recover their costs if they can't use it or to be able to resell it. Ticketmaster doesn't make it very easy, sir. Sometimes these price caps come with price floors. It happened to me, and I'm in the industry last year up in Baltimore to see Billy Joel and Stevie Nicks. Took my kid up there. One of us couldn't make it due to business, and we weren't allowed to even resell it for $50. It was a $180 ticket. They set a floor. That seat went empty. An empty seat doesn't buy beer, hot dogs, or merchandise. So we think there ought to be options for consumers.
I don't think anybody disagrees with the fact that there should be some resale available for those types of events that occur. That being said, when a bot or somebody comes in and purchases hundreds of tickets or whatnot, and we are looking at it as a venue, as a sold-out performance, so we staff as such with 100% staffing, the whole lot, and we're also paying the artist for that sold-out show as well. And unfortunately, when those brokers can't get their tickets sold, we'll see a drop count, which is how many people are actually through the door, of 60 to 70%. So now we've lost 30 to 40% of the income from food and beverage, which is how we make our money as a venue. And so, and to put the salt on the wound is that these brokers, these scalpers, will then claim fraud on all of the unsold tickets and will get their money back from these credit card companies. And so we'll get charged that as well. They're called chargebacks. So not only do we lose 30, 40% on those tickets that go unsold for the food and beverage, we get double charged on the chargeback, and there's no way for us to make our money back at all.
All right, so my time has expired, but Mr. Ritchie, I'll give you a chance if you want to respond to those comments. I don't know if you have any response.
I think we're all, for lack of a better term, rock and roll, we're all kind of smoking the same dope.
All right, that spices up the hearing even more.
Thank you, Senator Cruz. Senator Cantwell, you're recognized.
Thank you,